Recording in progress.
Very good afternoon to all. Now I'm audible. Okay. So just wait a minute. I'm sharing my screen with you all. Good afternoon all those who have joined now. Just give me a minute. Let me begin the session. I have done it intentionally just to avoid any kind of disturbance. Yeah, just wait, I am putting. So today we are going to begin with the unit 3 and 4, that is consumer equilibrium. We will do this unit in parts, right? So let's see what are the objectives of this unit. So this unit will explain the law of diminishing marginal utility, describe the concept of utility and its theoretical significance in economic analysis of demand. It will describe the indifference curve analysis of demand, the comparison between Marshallian approach and Hickesian approach of demand theory will be done in this unit. So first of all, we will discuss the Marshallian approach. The Marshallian approach in the theory of demand is based on the following postulates: the concept of utility, the law of diminishing marginal utility, the law of equal marginal utility. We will discuss all these postulates one by one. So the topics that we are going to cover are the concepts and postulates of the Marshallian cardinal utility approach, the law of equimarginal utility, basic assumption of Marshall utility analysis. These all are related to cardinal, and the indifference curve approach, the income effect, the substitution effect, and the price effect. These all are related to ordinal approach. So first of all, let's have an introduction to utility analysis. So the utility analysis of demand was evolved in the early 1870s by three economists. Who were the three economists? Jevons, Munger, and Walras. It is, however, attained perfection and systematic presentation at the hands of who? Marshall, when he celebrated book of what? Principle of Economics. This appeared in 1819. Right? So this is important from MCQ point of view. The term utility was given by Marshall in his book Principle of Economics in 1819. So this was the background to utility. So first of all, let's understand what is utility. So utility concept is related to consumer. So a consumer is an economic agent who basically uses what? Goods and services for his direct satisfaction. Right? So for example, you consume a cup of tea, and after you get satisfaction, this satisfaction is called what? Utility. So utility is something experienced by the consumer about the given commodity significance relating to its want satisfying power. So it is related to consumer mental attitude and experience that he has with particular commodity when he consumes that commodity. So you can say that utility is defined as satisfaction derived from the consumption of the commodity. It may be defined as want satisfying power of the commodity. So utility is the direct satisfaction that consumer consumer gets to attain. Right? So there are two major approaches regarding the measurement of utility. The first is cardinal measurement and second is ordinal measurement of utility. So accordingly, we have cardinal utility theory and ordinal utility theory of consumer behavior. So what are these cardinal and ordinal terms? So this concept of utility was given by who? Marshall. So the standard unit that Marshall used for measuring the satisfaction is utils. So when you consume a cup of tea, for example, you can express your satisfaction as equal to 2 utils, 3 utils, 4 utils. This is what? This is a cardinal measurement of utility. But on the other hand, this concept of cardinal utility was given by Marshall. But Hicks on the other side believed that satisfaction can only be ranked. It can be ranked as high, it can be ranked as low. It cannot be expressed in terms of utils or you can say units. So when you say that cup of tea gives you greater satisfaction than cup of coffee, so this is a comparison that you are getting more satisfaction with the cup of tea as compared to coffee. So this is a ordinal utility theory of consumer behavior. So the cardinal utility theory approach was given by Marshall. Under this we measure the satisfaction in units. But in ordinal utility of theory, it was given by Hicks, and according to this, the satisfaction can only be ranked as high or low. So these two were the concepts of utility, cardinal and ordinal, and we will study both these concepts one by one. So first of all, let's come into the postulates of Marshallian approach. So the Marshallian approach in the theory of demand is based on the following postulates. So the first is concept of utility and its cardinal, that is numerical measurements. And the second is law of diminishing marginal utility. And then third is law of equimarginal utility. So let's have introduction on all these one by one. So first of all, Marshallian cardinal utility approach. So what is cardinal measurement of utility? That we have discussed. This is a numerical expression. Under this, utility can be measured in numerical terms, which we call as what? Utils. So now this utility concept has two parts. Total utility and marginal utility. So the total utility is the sum total of utility that is derived from consumption of all the units of the commodity. For example, if of 2 units of the commodity are consumed, if the first unit is giving 10 utils and second unit is giving you 9 utils, the total satisfaction is 19. By consuming first, you are getting 10 utils as satisfaction, and after you consume second unit, you are getting 9 utils. So the total is what? 9. So 19 utils is your total utility. So total utility means what? Total satisfaction experienced or attained by the consumer, regardless all the units of all the commodity taken together. So you have to combine the utils or satisfaction of all the units that you are consuming. So this is what we call as total utility, right? So next is the concept that is marginal utility. So marginal utility refers to the additional unit, or you can say extra utility, on account of consumption of what? Additional unit of commodity. For example, if 10 utils of commodity yield satisfaction of 100 utils and 11 units of commodity yields 110, for example. So the addition is of what? From 100 to 110. You are getting 10 as addition satisfaction. So this 10 is what? This is your marginal utility. So we have studied what? That marginal utility is the extra utility obtained from an extra unit of an commodity consumed or acquired. So this is a formula of this. So it is basically an addition to the total utility. So TU stands for what? Total utility. It refers to the total satisfaction that a consumer acquires from consuming the commodities, and marginal utility is the addition that is being made to the satisfaction. Total utility is total concept, marginal utility is the additional concept. So now coming to the concept that is related to these two types of utility, the law of diminishing marginal utility. So the law of diminishing marginal utility lies at the center of cardinalist approach. So this approach is related to cardinal approach. So other things being equal, as the quantity of the commodity consumed or acquired by the consumer increases, the marginal utility of the commodity tends to diminishing. So psychologically we can see that intensity of desire for commodity tends to decrease as more and more units of the commodity are consumed, be it a cup of tea, spoon of tea, glass of milk, or anything related to that. So are consumed at point of time, and after you see that if your demand is continuous, and at certain point your satisfaction will start decreasing. You can see from this diagram that when you are hungry, you are eating this burger. So eating the first burger gives you a lot of satisfaction. The satisfaction level is very high. But when you are consuming the second burger, it will not give as much extra satisfaction as the first did. So this is what marginal utility, additional satisfaction we are talking about. But when we are consuming third burger, it will give even less extra satisfaction than eating the second one. So the satisfaction is what? Diminishing. So this is what we call as law of diminishing marginal utility. Under this, what is happening? The satisfaction level of the consumer is decreasing. So this law was given by Gaussian. So it was first called as Gaussian's first law. So the law of diminishing marginal utility states that as the consumers consumes more and more units of the specific commodity, the utility from the successive units goes on decreasing. So according to Marshall, the additional benefit which a person derives from given increase of his stock of a thing diminishes with every increase in the stock that he already has. So this law explains the functional relationship between the quantity of the commodity consumed and marginal utility derived. So we can get an idea from this law that as we, you can say, start consuming more and more units, the marginal utility derived from every unit must decline. So it is very natural to happen in all cases, be it goods or be it services. So you can see from this illustration, you can see in this table that we are given commodity X, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the total utility 15, 25, 33, 38, 40, 40 and 35. right? Then comes the marginal utility. Marginal utility is what? The additional utility or additional satisfaction that a consumer derives from the consumption of commodities. So in this, what we can see that as total utility is increasing, our marginal utility is decreasing at an increasing rate. You can see from this table, right? But when total utility is what? Constant. You can see at level of 6. At 5 it is 40, but at 6 it's also 40. So this is the point when our marginal utility will remain 0, and after that when our total utility starts decreasing, our marginal utility is negative. So this is telling us what? That marginal utility implies the point of satiety, that is there is complete satisfaction of given want, and you can see on the point 6 unit of commodity 6, the marginal utility is 0. So any further consumption when you will consume goods beyond this point, this will cause what? Negative marginal utility, that is minus 5. So negative marginal utility indicates what? Dissatisfaction arising out of excessive consumption of any commodity, right? So this was the illustration of the law of diminishing marginal utility. So you can see in this diagram that under this diagram, x's represents the units of commodity x, and the marginal utility is derived on y-axis. So the law of diminishing marginal utility always talk about the commodity and the marginal utility. So this curve mu shows us what? The marginal utility curve. So this curve slopes from downward from left to right, showing that there is inverse relationship between marginal utility and the stock. So we have talked in law of demand that there is inverse relationship. So whenever we talk about inverse relationship, there is a negative relationship. The curve is always sloping downward. So this says that as the stock increases, the marginal utility diminishes. So at this point, you can see on the x-axis, the MU curve is intersecting. So this point shows that the marginal utility is 0. And after this curve will slope down further. This will show the negative values, which implies the dissatisfaction on the part of consumers for excessive consuming the commodity. So this was the illustration of this law by the table and by the graph. So now comes the assumptions. So assumption is that first is homogeneity. The consumer a commodity that is being consumed by consumers should be homogeneous. It should be same. If you are consuming tea, the second thing should be tea only. If you are consuming burger, the second thing should be burger. There should be homogeneity. Second is continuity. Only standard units of the consumption of commodity is always continuous. Like if you are consuming one unit now, it's not that you will consume the other unit tomorrow. You have to consume it today only, or right back to back. Then reasonability, you should have a specific reason that why you are consuming a commodity. Then rationality, the consumer should be rational. Then the constancy of marginal utility of money, the marginal utility, the addition to the money should be constant, and it should be based upon the cardinal measurement of utility. The utility should be measured in terms of utils. So these all are the assumptions of this law of diminishing marginal utility. So whatever now we have studied was related to what? The concept of utility. One second. The cardinal utility approach, the law of diminishing marginal utility, its illustration in the form of schedule and in the form of curve. Then the assumptions related to law of diminishing marginal utility. So by far we have discussed the two concepts related to Marshallian approach, or you can say the cardinal approach. So any doubt you have till now, you can write in the chat box. So we will be doing this unit in parts, just one by one. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. Wait, let me check out now. Just write your doubts now. Okay, I can again explain assumptions. So the assumptions of this law is that the product should be homogeneous. Homogeneous means what? The product should be same. If you are talking about eating burger, then after next burger, if you are eating one burger, then after that second burger, third burger, fourth burger. At the level of fourth burger, your point of satisfaction will decline. So this is what law of diminishing marginal utility. It doesn't mean that first you are eating burger, then you are eating pizza, then you are talking about something else. This is not an assumption of this law. So the product should be homogeneous, right? And then the consumption of the commodity should always be continuous. Continuous means what? That it should be consumed back to back. It's not like that if you are consuming one this commodity today and the another commodity tomorrow. You have to consume it back to back. Then you should have a particular reason about consuming that commodity. It should be cardinal measurement of utility. For example, it should be measured in terms of numerical, right? In terms of utils. Then the consumer should be rational. He should make all the decisions rationally. So these all are the assumptions relating to. Okay, you want to see the slide? Wait, let me share again. Wait. Are you able to see the screen? So these all were the assumptions I was talking about: homogeneity, continuity, reasonability, rationality, cardinal measurement of utility, and constancy of marginal utility of money. Okay. So is this clear? Give an example of marginal utility of money. Okay, wait. You can take an example. Talk about anything you want to talk about, then I'll explain marginal utility of money. See, let's take an example, total utility. You are very much clear about total utility concept? What is total utility? Yes or no? Write in the chat box so that I can explain marginal utility with respect to total utility. Okay, it's clear. Then total utility means what? Total satisfaction. For example, if you are consuming, for example, I will take short example, three units you are consuming, right? From first unit you are getting 10 utils. You can write on a piece of paper so that it will be clear to you. By there are 3 units, you have 3 units. By consuming first unit, you are getting 10 satisfaction. By consuming second unit, you are getting, you can say, 15 utils, and by consuming third unit you are getting 20 satisfaction. So when you will aggregate all these utils, you are getting what? 45 as total. So this 45 is your total utility. Total utility means total satisfaction after consuming all the 3 commodities. When you are consuming 1 to 3 units total, then you are getting 45 satisfaction. This is total utility. I hope this is clear now. Just wait, assumption. Let me explain total utility first, then I'll move to that thing also. Don't worry. So this was 45 hour. I am talking about total utility first. Marginal utility will, I am explaining marginal utility. First of all, understand this total utility concept. Is this clear? Okay. Then you can see the marginal utility is what? Addition that is being made. So from when you kindly don't do this. Whosoever is doing this, stop it. So when you are moving from first to second unit, the total utility is increasing from 10 to 50. So how much there is additional change? There is additional change of how much? 5 utils, right? This 5 utils is what? Your marginal utility. Now I am giving you one example which you have to solve. I am writing in the chat box. Just give me a second, I am writing in the chat box. You have to calculate the marginal utility. This is your X is your commodity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the total utility. Now calculate marginal utility from this. You are given X, the commodities, the consumption of commodity units, and you are given total utility. Now please calculate marginal utility from this. Yes, 100, 90, 80, 70, 60. So what you see? When the total utility is increasing, your marginal utility is decreasing. So why marginal utility is decreasing? Anyone? Now, okay, I am satisfied with the answer. Now, please tell me why marginal utility is decreasing if total utility is increasing. Yes, inverse in relation. The right answer is this. There is inverse relationship between the commodity consumed and the marginal utility. So this is what, yes, law of diminishing marginal utility is also right because it is an inverse relationship between commodities and the marginal utility. So that's why as the units go in increasing, the marginal utility tends to decrease. So again, let me give you another example. Kindly solve that also. Wait. These all are the units. These all are the total utility. So now calculate marginal utility from this. First, let's see who will answer the first. Yes, 0. It won't be 0. It will be infinite because there was nothing. So it will be infinite. 8, 6, 4, 2, 0, minus 2. Right. Now from this, what observation you can conclude? That as TU increases, if the TU increasing, MU is positive. You can see that MU is positive when TU is increasing. But when you see that MU is 0, then TU is maximum. TU is maximum when 20. When TU is 20, then our marginal utility is what? 0. But when TU start declining, that from 20 to it's declining to 18, then our marginal utility is negative. It start diminishing. So this is what our law of diminishing marginal utility. So when decreasing TU, MU implies what? That TU is increasing, but TU is increasing at the decreasing rate. Should we say complete satisfaction reached at point? Yes, you can say that. This is a complete satisfaction. The complete satisfaction is at point 5. So this was about the marginal utility and total utility and law of diminishing marginal utility. So law of diminishing marginal utility states what? That as you consume more and more units, our marginal utility tends to decline, because when we are consuming same unit one by one, matlab you can say again and again, this is leading to negative. Negative what? This is dissatisfaction. See, when total utility is 0, marginal utility is 0, there is no change. So no change means what? Infinite. There was nothing. So where? Any other doubt? Yes, when units are 0, then how can you say that MU can be 0? MU will only be 0 when there is total utility existence. Which table you are talking about? The law of diminishing. See, this is a table of illustration of the law. See, MU is calculated with the addition in total utility. So you can see in this slide, total utility is increasing from 15 to 25. So there is how much change? There is change of 10. Right? At first point, when you're taking unit of a commodity X as 1, you're consuming only one commodity. Then the total satisfaction is 15. Then your marginal utility is also 15. Right? But when your total utility is increasing to 25, there is an addition of 10. So when you are consuming 2 units, the marginal utility is 10. But when we are moving to third unit, total utility is increasing to 33. So there is change of 8. So 8 is what? The marginal utility. So marginal utility is basically the addition that is being made to the total utility. I hope this is clear now. Is this clear? Any other doubt related to cardinal approach and law of diminishing marginal utility? See, marginal utility of money is what? It is the worth of a rupee or a consumer. So, how will you explain the worth of rupee? Can you please tell me? How will you explain worth of rupee? Then only I can explain. Yes, whosoever asked this question, what is constancy of marginal utility of money? I am telling you that marginal utility of money refers to worth of the rupee. That is, you can say it is important for consumer that worth of rupee he looks after when he's going to purchase any kind of commodity. He looks for what? Worth of rupee. So this is what marginal utility. Yes, in right what you are saying, paisa vasool, that's right. So we are consuming this marginal utility of money as constant. This is the assumption of this law, that it should not be changing. Yes, purchasing power, right. Any other doubt? There was a question. I didn't get you, Weber. What are you saying? In which, in assessment where we didn't got any utility? I'm not getting your point. What are you trying to say? See, related to assessment or assignment things, you can email to helpdesk@coidol.in. If you have any doubts in this session, you can ask me. See, PPT will be shared with you all in the end of the session. Right now, I'm not able to share it with you. So I think everything is clear now. So in the next session, we will begin with another topic, that is law of equimarginal utility and the consumer equilibrium. So right, tomorrow we have session of this managerial economics. So we will begin with the next topic tomorrow. Right? So thank you so much. I hope this session was very much useful for you all. Thank you.